So you're thinking about selling your home and you're wondering if this would be a great time to sell your property now, especially here in the Las Vegas Valley. I'm going to give you the answer of it depends. And I'm not a politician, so my apologies for giving you that very politician or political sort of answer in that sense. But yet it really does depend. We want to make sure that we sit down, we do a consultation, we do a strategy session with our clients and make sure we incorporate all of their desires, all of their goals, and figure out what's happening with the factors in the current market. And then that way we can determine whether or not it would be a good time for you to sell. So we're going to jump into that specifically in this video. Will it be a good time for you to possibly sell a home here in the Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas area? And we're going to talk about some of those factors you may want to consider in regards to making that decision. And as I always like to say, let the show begin because we're getting after it right now. To sell or not to sell? My name is Levert Pompey Benefield. I'm a team leader here of Team Levert with eXp Realty in the Las Vegas Valley. Now, this is definitely a question, of course, a lot of us have been contemplating over the last few years, especially with the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the interest rates. With the interest rates having been so high over these last few years, a lot of our sellers are not moving. They're not selling their houses. They're maintaining their homes because they have these great interest rates that started us back a few years ago, and they got locked in at 2%, 3%, even some of them still staying under that 4%. We see a large amount of people right now across the nation with extremely fantastic interest rates. So their question would be, why would I want to sell this house with such a great interest rate and then turn around and purchase a property at such a high interest rate? So of course, a lot of people are not selling because of those particular factors. The biggest thing I want you to really, I want to encourage you to do is to make sure, like I always say, check in with your local expert. If you do not have someone you're comfortable with, we've been doing this for quite some time, more than a combination of I would say combined years of close to 40 years we've been doing real estate here with our team. So we have those connections across the nation. We can get you connected with an agent in your area. So if you need that, please feel free to reach out to us. Information is down below, all that kind of great stuff. Make sure you subscribe. We know that more than 84%, I think that was the number that when we looked at our analytics, more than 84% of the people that watch our videos are not subscribed to our channel. We're a small channel, guys. I really am asking you for a huge favor. We'd love if, of course, if you like and subscribe down below. That will help us build up our channel. And if this information you find to be very important, please feel free and please pass it on to one of your friends or family members that this could benefit them in regards to possibly selling their homes or any of our videos that you may see in our library in that sense. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. And we'll thank you in advance for sharing and subscribing below. With that, again, going back to that interest rate, we are seeing a lot of folks as well at this time becoming more accustomed to the rates where we are right now. This last week was one of the first times we've seen interest rates drop. In more than a year and a half, our interest rates really dropped. And that has, from when talking to some of our lenders that we work closely with, we do not specifically have lenders that we only work with. We always want to have about 2-3 different lenders that our potential clients can come to us and ask for lenders and talk to those people. And depending upon what you and that lender come up with, and if you guys are comfortable with that thing, you make the decision as far as which lender you want to work with. Yet with that being said, I'm going to take these bracelets off. A good friend of mine gave them to me, but I'm gonna take them off just in case they're making any noise. Reminds me a little bit of here's old school, the We Are the World video behind the scenes when Cyndi Lauper had all the bracelets and the dangles on. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Going back again, in regards to our clients that are looking for an agent in the area, again, reach out to us. We'd love to make sure that we can provide you with even help if you're not in our Las Vegas Valley, okay? So we can help you in all of across the country. Reach out, we'll connect you. With that being said, again, guys, we are starting to get more accustomed to the interest rates where we are right now. The biggest thing that we're seeing right now in regards to the homes that we're selling, why are people selling homes right now in the Las Vegas area? We actually did another video on that before as far as why people are selling, all the different types of things, or why people are even moving here to the Las Vegas area. We'll put that somewhere on the video. I never know what our great editing team is going to do, but we'll put that somewhere in the video for you guys to check that video out next as well. Reasons that people are actually selling right now. we are seeing some really exciting reasons. People are, their families are growing. They're having more children, whatever that may be. They may want to move closer to family members because some of our clients are grandkids, or their children are having children, so they're getting grandkids and they want to be closer to their grandkids. Things like that. We are seeing people getting married. We see them wanting to purchase a property together, and maybe they're selling one of the properties they had before and they're moving in together. They want to buy another property together, whatever that may be. And we're seeing some other life events, some really dear, tough situations that some of our clients are going through. Some of our clients, unfortunately, may be going through a divorce, and we have clients going through divorces at this time. We have people, unfortunately, that have lost family members, and they have to go through probate. We can explain to you a little bit more about what probate is. We definitely handle probates. We've been doing those for years here in the Las Vegas area, where unfortunately there may not have been a will, or there may not have been a trust connected to that will. That's a separate video in regards to, but these are reasons why people are definitely selling. And with those probates, sometimes people just don't want to, the people that are getting the home, in the sense, they don't want to have that connection with the home. They may want to sell it because the family members just want to get it sold, and they want to take the money out and do something else with the funds. So we are seeing still a lot of people sell homes, and our clients, we are honored to be able to help them in all of those wonderful life events, be it something as beautiful as people getting married, having kids, moving closer to grandkids, or something as tough as being a probate, divorce, or unfortunately death in someone's family. We are here, and we're honored to be able to help our clients. So people are moving. And in addition to that, right now, even our people that have been sort of sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the interest rates to drop all the way down to that 2%, 3%, who knows? We may get there. We have seen some adjustment. We've seen a small adjustment happen, like we said this last week. We are expecting, and the stats and things are still leaning towards the numbers in September for there to be some sort of adjustment in regards to rates. We're thinking maybe a quarter, maybe a half point could actually happen in regards to that interest rate adjustment, and that is definitely going to bring more buyers to the market. And when more buyers come to the market, that helps our sellers, because more buyers are out there sort of going after the small limited amount of inventory that is out there. We are seeing a lot of our sellers right now, and we're seeing a lot of our buyers get wonderful deals because the inventory is still extremely low, but the demand is still high. So people are almost a little bit even in the sense of what they're able to negotiate. Buyers can still come in, even with the big, huge changements with the NAR settlement. Buyers are still able to come in and ask for some closing costs. There are still some sellers who are still willing to negotiate those closing costs to that buyer's agent and to that buyer's brokerage. Again, with the new settlement, we as listing agents, we are not negotiating or basically sharing any kind of co-ops in regards to MLS. The seller, our seller, is doing that directly via the negotiations that we do for them, but they're doing that directly with the buyer broker if for some reason that buyer broker does not have their buyer paying for their fee. There are still some sellers doing that still at this particular time. So with that being said, again, is it a good time for you to sell? I'm going back to the fact it just depends on your circumstances. And one of the biggest things that we always encourage people to do is to make sure before we think that we understand it all, we know what we're doing, and we got it all together, let's open ourselves up to the ability to reach out to a professional, pass the same scenario across to the professional. Maybe there are some new changes. Maybe there are some things you may not be aware of that may have you ready to do something now versus having to do that long wait. Some of our buyers are thinking, well, I'm going to work on my credit. Please reach out to professionals so that we can give you that right input in regards to what we need to do to get your credit to where it needs to be. Our sellers, is it a good time for us to sell? Oh, you know what? It's not really good. I'm going to do this first. Reach out to us. Reach out to your professional agents, your professional lenders, all those types of good things so that we can give you that input and we get a plan together, a strategy session and a strategy plan for you to help you get the most out of your property. So with that being said, I'm always going to go back to it depends on what your circumstances are. Are you in a place where you're financially ready to do it? Are you in a place where you emotionally are ready to do it? Are you in a place where you're physically ready to do it? Or do you know where you're going to after you sell the house? Do you need to buy a property when you sell the home? All of those factors, depending on your situation that's important for you and or your family, if you have a family, whatever that may be, is going to be the reasons it's going to be good for you. It's not a blanket decision for everyone. And I know people are thinking we're real estate agents, we're a real estate team. Of course, we're going to tell people it's a good time to sell. No, we actually don't. We want to sit down with our clients and we want to be available when they are ready. when you, our clients, are ready, not when we're ready. And that's what's great about working with a professional team that has been doing this for years. We're not sitting across from you hungry for a commission. We're sitting across from you with curiosity and a desire to understand what's important for you and your goals. So make sure you're working with a team like myself and my team in regards to looking for those kind of things that we want to hear from you that will help us go, yes, this is a good scenario, or this is another opportunity you can do. Maybe we can bring you other suggestions, okay? So really make sure you're working with professionals that have transactions going, they're doing transactions, they've seen different markets, they understand what type of factors to factor into and help you make that decision of whether or not it's time for you to sell your property. Some of those factors, economics, what's happening in the economy as far as your market is concerned with, what's happening as far as inventory as far as those things are concerned with. And then for some of our clients, those things really don't matter because they want the convenience of getting it done. Again, depending upon what's important for you and your family, convenience may be more important than worrying about the financial aspect of it. Of course, everybody wants to put the most amount of money in their pocket, but sometimes the desire of being closer to family, desire of getting out of a particular situation, a desire to whatever it may be, becomes priority over the financial number. So it is not always about a financial number. Again, depending on what your situation is, we'd love to be able to walk alongside you and help you out in that regard. In regards to my sellers that are definitely selling now, some things I want you to consider, things we'll ask you about, make sure we're educating you about or reminding you about if you've sold homes before. We're going to be talking to you about those numbers if numbers are important. We're going to be talking to you about what kind of fees you may be thinking or having to deal with when you sell your home. You're going to have an understanding of what it costs for you to sell your property. We're going to give you net sheets, basically what will we'll be able to put into your pocket after the sale of your home. After all those different fees are concerned with, what do you bottom line net for? If financially is a big goal for you. If that number is important, you're going to know that. You're going to know what that number is, what those possibilities are. We do tend to err more on the higher side. We'd rather you're thinking that you're going to be coming in or paying a little bit more in order to get the property sold, because we don't want to bring you to that closing table and we have higher fees that you have to pay because we underestimate it. We shoot a little bit higher in those numbers because, again, we want you being more satisfied that it's less than what we thought it was going to be versus us overestimating in that net sheet, and then therefore you're more likely to be ticked off at us because we didn't estimate things correctly. So hopefully that makes sense. Reach out to us. We want to understand what is happening in your situation, and then we can truthfully give you that input of whether or not this is going to be a great time. Hold on to the property, sell the property now, whatever that may be. After we've done our homework, we'll be able to give you that input. So believe it or not, there are people that are wanting to sell properties even with the higher interest rates, and they do want to get things moved on. And there definitely are people that are even right now with the interest rates starting to adjust. They're doing things like pulling money out of their homes. They're paying for credit card debts. They're paying their debts down in order to get themselves into a better situation. They're creating a second on a home. All those different types of things. We can have you meeting with the lender, talking to them about those things. If you want to do a little refinance, whatever that may be, people are excited about that happening now, because there are some people who did actually buy after the 3-4% interest rates were out there, and they want to refinance. They're getting close to maybe a 2-year, 3-year scenario. They may have a little bit more equity in the property, whatever that may be, and they just want to bring those numbers, that monthly number down. Maybe you were fortunate enough to get into a transaction with the lender that states you have the right to refinance the property later on without any fees in regards to you doing that refinance, but some people definitely don't have that situation. So all of those factors depend. That is why you need to sit down and talk to a professional. We can go over these things with you, and then we can truthfully, again, like I've said a gazillion times in this video, tell you if it is a great time for you to sell. Are people moving to the Las Vegas area? Yes, they are. Is the economy strong here in the sense of our job market? Yes. Even with the sort of weaker job reports that we were expecting nationwide, we still are very strong here in the Las Vegas Valley. So we're still seeing a lot of employment happening in hospitality, gaming, food and entertainment, sports, all of these growing things, these growing factors, infrastructure, all of these things are happening, bringing a lot of jobs to the Las Vegas area. And we still are having somewhat affordable housing, because for some of the people that already live here, yes, housing affordability is still tough for a lot of people who currently live here, who are currently working double jobs, extra jobs, side gigs, and everything else. So there are some of those people that are definitely struggling, like I always say in our videos, and we want to acknowledge that. We don't think everyone is out there in a fortunate position where they can turn around and just buy a home. And these homes here in Las Vegas do look affordable to a lot of people coming to the Las Vegas area. So we know there's two sides of that coin in that sense. But again, guys, any more questions in regards to getting your property sold, please make sure you reach out to us. We want to make sure we do a consultation with you specifically to truthfully answer that question. Is it a great time for you to sell? It's a strong seller's market. Sellers are still doing some contributions, but sellers are still having shorter days on market. They're still getting close to the numbers because we're strategizing with them. We're putting the property out there correctly. We're doing some beautiful marketing. We're making sure we get the price correct in regards to what's happening around them, so we don't lose time, we don't lose money by wasting too much time in that sense. Guys, again, like we said in the beginning of the video, subscribe below. We know a lot of you enjoy this great information. We would love your help in building our channel and making sure we get more subscribers and more people checking us out. And again, if any of this information you think someone else could benefit from, please make sure you're sharing it with your family and your friends, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.